Welcome to Square and Compass Promotions Wednesday information video. For this week's video, we take a field trip from the beautiful Masonic Temple in Windsor to the beautiful St. John's Anglican Church, which is a very important piece of Windsor's history, a very important piece of Ontario's history, but also a very important um, piece of, or has a lot of Masonic history, and it's very important to Masonic history in this region and in this province, particularly its cemetery, which I'm going to take you guys through now. I, for one, have always loved anything spooky and anything scary, and I also just love old cemeteries. I think they're very, very cool, and I think they contain a lot of history. And when I'm in a cemetery visiting, I always like to look for the Masonic symbol, the square and compass symbol, on any gravestones which I see, which is always an excellent way to connect with brethren who came before, pay respects to brethren who, even though I haven't met, are still my brothers. And the St. John's Anglican Church has numerous Masonic brethren and also Eastern Star sisters laid to rest there. I've taken a few pictures. Some of these are very old. They predate the 19th century. The church itself is currently, the Reverend there is Reverend Gordon Maitland, who is also Brother Gordon Maitland. He is the Worshipful Master of Rose Lodge. I, in fact, completed a podcast interview with him, which I'll include the link up in the top right hand of the screen for you to check out. There are also two very distinguished Masonic Worshipful Masters laid to rest there. The Worshipful Master of Windsor Lodge, the very first Worshipful Master of Windsor Lodge 403, and the very first Worshipful Master of Great Western Lodge 47. Great Western Lodge is actually the oldest lodge which meets in Windsor at the Windsor Masonic Temple, at the beautiful Windsor Masonic Temple, both of whom are laid to rest there, both of whom not only have their original gravestones present, but also special plaques which were created and installed by their respective lodges with the help of St. John's Anglican Church. I have included pictures to both of those, both the graves themselves, the gravestones, and the commemorative plaques, commemorative stones. The St. John's Anglican Church also had a cornerstone which was laid with Masonic honors by the Grand Master in Ontario, William Mercer Wilson. And a couple of years ago, the trowel which was used in that ceremony was found and returned to St. John's Anglican Church. I've included the link in the description of this video below from that very historic day. It was found by a brother Mason and returned. I've also included a link to more information about St. John's Anglican Church, which, as I said, is a very important part of Windsor's history, a very important part of Ontario's history, and a very important part of Masonic history. It's a beautiful church. The cemetery is full of very old and very historic gravestones that go back to the earliest days of when it was Sandwich Town, when Windsor was dealing with the War of 18. Well, at that point it was still a colony. It was dealing with the War of 1812, and just so much history is there, both Masonic and in the city. And it's the type of place that everybody who is in Windsor should do their best to check out and support this really vital and really important landmark. So I hope you guys enjoy these pictures. I hope you guys enjoy taking a look at St. John's Anglican Church, and stick around for more. We are here at the beautiful St. John's Anglican Church Cemetery. Normally we host these Wednesday information videos at the beautiful Windsor Masonic Temple. However, I decided this week to do a bit of a field trip. I have always loved cemeteries. I've always loved old things, and I love scary movies, so I love spooky things, I guess. But in the case of St. John's Anglican Church, there is a lot of Masonic history both at the church itself and in its cemetery. The first worshipful master of Windsor Lodge 403, Brother Davignon, is buried here, and we're going to show a picture of that. The first worshipful master of Great Western Lodge, the oldest lodge to meet in Windsor, Worship Brother Perkins, is buried here. There are a ton of Masonic square and compasses on numerous gravestones here, so we'll take a look at those. The church itself has a lot of Masonic history. Reverend Gordon Maitland, who is the Reverend of the church, he's also Brother Gordon Maitland, and I actually completed a podcast interview with him, which you guys can check out by following the link, which should appear in the corner of your screen. The first cornerstone for this building was laid with Masonic honors by William Mercer Wilson, who was a very important prominent Mason all the way back in the 19th century. And I'll show a picture of that as well. Just any chance to explore such a beautiful location is something I had to take advantage of, especially on a day as nice as today. Like everybody else, I've been cooped up under quarantine, so a chance to get outside and enjoy some weather while not being around people, or at least not being around anybody who has to worry about the coronavirus or has to worry about present circumstances, is a nice opportunity, and just a chance to be in a place with so much history. You know, there are gravestones here that date, you know, previous to the 19th century. There are an 18th century. You know, I always talk about how Windsor Masonic Temple is such an important part of Windsor's history, which it is, but so is St. John's Anglican Church. This church has been a part of Windsor's history and Somerset history for so long, and it's just great to get a chance to check it out. Also, if you notice, so behind me on my right, so your left, is St. John's Anglican Church. Behind me the other way, let's see if I can get that, is Mackenzie Hall, which is where Windsor Lodge, my mother lodge, celebrated its 125th anniversary. I spent a lot of time there as a law student going to the University of Windsor, and also the old Windsor jail, which is no longer operational. Now it's down at the Southwest Detention Center, but there is so much history in Sandwich Town and in this area, and it's a great opportunity to be here and check out this beautiful cemetery.